And while the far-left faction strengthens, Democrat candidates are turning against party leadership.
Here is a House Democrat who is admitting that they are using Americans who are suffering as political leverage.
Chuck Schumer just hit his breaking point, a complete meltdown after 35 million of his own voters turned against him in fury. The man who once ruled the Senate like a king is now watching his empire crumble from within. What started as political leverage just exploded into a full-blown voter revolt that's tearing the Democratic Party apart from the inside.
Rural America and urban America and small town America in the heartland of America.
The revolt didn't come with warning shots. It hit like an earthquake. Overnight, the so-called Schumer shutdown turned from political theater into a full-blown rebellion. Except this time, it wasn't Republicans getting crushed. It was Democrats, choking on their own arrogance, blindsided by a revolt from the very people they swore to protect.
Now, government workers and every other American affected by this shutdown have become nothing more than pawns in the Democrats' political games.
The poor, the working class, the struggling families, the backbone of the Democratic vote, suddenly realized who had really pulled the plug on their food. SNAP benefits vanished. Over 35 million Americans are left hanging right before Thanksgiving. And here's the punchline. Most of them voted blue.
This is pure partisan games.
Empty shelves, maxed out EBT cards, parents skipping meals so their kids can eat. The party of compassion just starved out its own base. This wasn't a policy mistake. This was betrayal in HD. For years, Democrats preached, "We fight for the people." Now those same people can't buy groceries.
The Republican bill is a ruse. It's nothing more than another tool for Trump to hurt federal workers and American families.
And when reporters asked why, one of their top leaders, Katherine Clark, said the quiet part out loud: suffering was leverage. Let that burn in your mind. Their political weapon isn't persuasion, it's pain. That clip didn't just go viral, it detonated.
Where does it say Medicaid? Where does it say that we're going to protect Medicaid?
Because this wasn't about Republicans or Trump or MAGA, this was about the mask slipping. Democrats control everything: the House, the Senate, the White House. There's no one left to blame. Republicans introduced clean bills to fund SNAP, the military, and critical services. Democrats blocked every single one, not because they couldn't agree, but because they wanted chaos.
Throughout this shutdown, Democrats have said this quiet part out loud. Senator Chuck Schumer, the leader of the caucus that is refusing to open the government, said, quote, "Every day gets better as the shutdown continues."
They thought if Americans suffered enough, they'd win the negotiation. But the suffering backfired. They didn't just weaponize hunger, they awakened 35 million furious voters. Of course, there will be families who suffer, but it's one of the few leverage points we have. That viral Katherine Clark moment became the crack that split the dam. She stood there calm and confident, telling reporters what she's thinking.
Clear, Democrats remain more dedicated to defying Trump than delivering for the American people. They're more worried about protesting and protecting illegal aliens than keeping our military and essential workers paid.
One of the top Democrats in Congress literally said starving families was a strategy. Leverage, that's the word she used. You could feel the air get sucked out of the room. The internet caught fire. Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, every platform erupted. Even apolitical people were saying, "Wait, she said what?"
House Democrat Katherine Clark said, "There are going to be families that are going to suffer. We take that responsibility seriously, but this is one of the few leverage points that we have."
Republicans didn't even need to campaign. Democrats wrote their own attack ads. Democrats are starving families for leverage. That line spread like wildfire. Every replay, every meme, every TikTok made the same point. The mask was off. That one sentence shattered the illusion. Ordinary Americans, not political junkies, saw what Washington really thinks of them. Their pain was just another chess piece. Democrats wanted leverage, and they leveraged their own credibility straight into the gutter.
And more than 40 million Americans could lose access to food stamps if the shutdown continues. 40 million. And yet none of it seems to matter to Senate Democrats.
Then came the shockwave. The media, usually the Democrats' built-in defense system, couldn't spin this one. Even CBS, of all outlets, started pressing them on air. Hakeem Jeffries, the polished Democrat spokesman who loves his talking points, got cornered live on TV. The same man who mocked Trump for saying rigged elections suddenly started using the exact same words. His face said it all: confusion, panic, and that hollow smile of someone realizing the script doesn't work anymore. And people noticed. The confidence was gone. The unity was gone. When the friendly media starts turning, the empire isn't just cracking, it's collapsing. While Democrats spiraled, Republicans went for the jugular. No drama, no chaos, just receipts. They laid it out clean. We introduced funding. Democrats blocked it. Simple, truthful, devastating.
This is the Republican healthcare crisis. It is enormous. It is devastating. It is crushing everyday Americans. And that's why Democrats believe decisive action needs to be taken.
Caroline Leavitt, speaking from the White House, dropped the quote that nuked the entire Democrat narrative. Democrats are trying to starve people in the name of leverage. That one sentence hit harder than any speech Schumer has given in a decade. Republicans didn't need to scream. They let Democrats' cruelty do the talking. They turned clarity into a weapon.
The Democrats clearly don't care about this suffering. They care about playing political games against President Trump, and this dangerous charade needs to end.
Right before the holidays, that message exploded across the internet. The Schumer starvation plan became the phrase of the week. It trended everywhere: memes, reaction videos, late-night jokes. Even lifelong Democrats couldn't defend it. You know it's bad when your own base starts dunking on your hashtags. And then there's Chuck Schumer, caught in the middle of his own nightmare. The man looks exhausted, like he's aging a year every hour. On one side, the far-left base led by AOC is screaming for more confrontation. On the other hand, moderates beg him to stop the bleeding before they lose their seats. It's chaos inside the party. Moderates want sanity, radicals want destruction. Schumer, he just wants to survive.
A senior Democrat aide said the party will not end the shutdown, quote, short of planes falling out of the sky.
Republican Congressman Tim Burchett didn't hold back. He said Schumer's become a hostage to the far-left Marxist base. That's not an insult. That's reality. Schumer isn't leading anymore. He's just reacting, trying to keep everyone from turning on him at once.
Moving with the votes, but I think that's what you're seeing. I think Schumer will shut the government down just out of his own ego.
And the voters, they already have. The people who once trusted him are the ones lining up at food banks. When your own supporters are the ones revolting, you're not a leader. You're a liability. This revolt didn't start in Washington. It started in living rooms, grocery stores, and empty kitchens. Ordinary Americans, the ones who don't live on Twitter or watch cable news, started asking questions.
More than 500,000 civilian federal employees will miss a full paycheck tomorrow.
People who'd never cared about politics were suddenly digging into shutdown votes, reading the Constitution, researching SNAP funding. It was a mass awakening. The silent majority stopped being silent and started thinking for themselves. You can't gaslight a hungry family. You can't lecture someone about equity while their kid skips dinner. Once people see the truth, they don't unsee it.
Democrats are solely responsible for all of this unnecessary pain. Why are they doing it? To give taxpayer-funded healthcare benefits to illegal aliens, some of whom are violent criminals.
This wasn't about ideology anymore. Americans weren't arguing about left versus right. They were asking one question: who's actually helping us? And for the first time, a lot of lifelong Democrats didn't like the answer.
Senate Democrats have voted 12 separate times now to keep the government closed. Innocent Americans are suffering every day as a result.
The Democrats' grand plan for leverage exploded in their faces. No negotiations, no funding, no plan, just chaos and finger-pointing. They wanted power. They got paralysis. Schumer's plan to use suffering as a bargaining chip backfired spectacularly. Polls flipped. Public trust cratered. Democrats went from smug confidence to full-blown panic overnight.
These are unprecedented times. You have to lean in, you have to fight. And these are the things that everyday Americans are asking for.
By the time the pressure hit critical, Schumer had no choice left. He caved. Quietly, awkwardly, and too late. Because you can't negotiate with a starving nation. You can't spin your way out of 35 million angry voters who just realized you were the one holding the knife. The Schumer shutdown didn't just starve Americans, it starved the Democratic Party of credibility. Every talking point collapsed. Every defense failed.
Donald Trump may be having a nice time abroad, but people here at home are dreading open enrollment.
They said they were the party of empathy, the party of the working class, the protectors of the poor. But when the lights went out and the food ran out, all that branding turned to dust. This was supposed to be Schumer's moment of leverage, his show of strength. Instead, it became his legacy, the shutdown that starved millions and shattered his base. The man who promised to fight for the people will now be remembered as the one who weaponized their pain. Because when your strategy is to make your people suffer, don't be surprised when your people turn on you. The revolt isn't coming, it's already here. And this time, Schumer can't spin his way out. Like this video and hit subscribe to get more updates.